What's up everybody, Nick Fit here with a tutorial on push-ups. For anybody struggling, this is your time. It's push-up time with yours truly, Nick Fit. First, let me just say, the push-ups are supposed to be hitting the pectorals, so your chest, fancy word for your chest, the triceps, these three lovely muscles on your arm here, and the deltoids or the shoulders. Now, your deltoids have three areas: your anterior, your medial, just think of it as middle, and posterior, so front, middle, back. You're predominantly hitting your front and your medial head or your side head, when you perform push-ups. Yes, your core and some of the other areas of your body have to be stabilizers so that this motion can come to fruition, okay? And that's very important because many of you are struggling with push-up because maybe you have a weak core, you need to work on planks, you need to work on hip stability or some other area. Something is just not there, and it's not just strength, but it's because other areas of the body are not lining up, are not firing and working the way they're supposed to for you to get this motion going. So let's talk about a push-up. I'm gonna do a very basic or the quintessential modification for a full push-up. A full push-up, as many of you are aware. Oh wait, give me a second here. There we go. A full push-up, as many of you are aware, okay? Both legs back, wiggle so you see it, down and up. Okay, so this is the quintessential modification. Everybody goes on their knees, right? So we're here, we come down, we come up. We come down, we come up. The first thing I see where people are struggling with is what to do with the arms. When you're performing a push-up, okay, a lot of people do this instead of what I'm going to tell you to do next. So pay attention. This is what they do. They shouldn't be doing, but they do this. First mistake I catch, they do this. Shoulder blade clicking vibe story. Or they do this. Right? The neck, the shoulder blades. Remember where we're supposed to be working. The shoulders, the pecs, the triceps. You can actually see my triceps are engaged, right? When I put them down. Look at that. I'm not showing off, I'm just showing you. This is what's supposed to be working when you perform this motion. So if this is not working, something wrong. So here we go. None of this, none of this. Okay? Also, none of this. You're coming down for a push-up, and guess what you're doing? What's that? Hips touching ground first. Crotch touching ground first. None of that is supposed to touch. Okay? The entire body from head to hips down to feet is supposed to stay stable. It's like a board. It's like a plank. And the only thing that's really supposed to be moving is this area here, these elbows. Check this out. Watch this. You ready? I'm here. Look at these elbows bend. Come down. I stay right here. The hips, look at where the hips are. Look at where the crotch is. Look at where the chest is. None of that has touched ground. None of it has touched ground. Okay? Yes, I've seen people do this. They come down like that and they come up. That's completely different conversation, completely different time. But understand that even when you're doing this, everything is touching the ground, usually at the same time, or chest is touching ground first. So you're like this. So, see this? Like that. Okay? Don't worry with that yet. We're going to focus on push-ups. Basic push-ups that everybody could do. The one where you come down, keep this in mind, when you come down for a push-up, you should come down a few inches to the ground. You don't have to touch your chest to the ground and come back up. If you want to do that, that's fine. Not arguing it. But for anybody that's struggling with push-ups, I wouldn't bother to focus on that right now. I would focus on this version that I'm showing you. You come down, you're a few inches off the ground, and then you come up. And when you perform this move, again, let's look at that crotch area. Let's look at that stomach area. Let's look at that chest. Nothing touches. So if you're like this, you might be too forward. And this is what's happening here. So you need to dial that back. Down. Up. Okay? Triceps. Very important. Pectoralis or chest, very important. What else? What was the other area? What was the other area? The shoulders, very important. Okay? So, let's talk about those push-ups again. Stability, very important. Work on your planks. Okay? Work on your form when you're doing this. Pay attention to what you're doing when you're doing it. Let me give you some modifications other than our typical knees. If you have never done a push-up or you're really struggling with push-ups, this is what I want you to think about. Look at this for a moment. This is my hip here. If I draw a line from my hip straight down to my knee, this is a line here. And guess what? This makes a 90-degree angle. This is the easiest form of push-up I can do. Here's another thing I want you to pay attention to, the hand placement. Okay? When I am performing push-ups, I'm going to sit down so you can see it from this angle. My arms or my hands are close to my chest. See, it's like this. There's a line here. There's a line here. Anywhere along this line. That's where I can do push-ups. So I can come in here for close grip. I can come here for shoulder width. Shoulder width means that if I draw a line from my shoulder straight out, okay, all these joints will be lined up. Okay, just like this. Lined up. I can come out a little bit more than shoulder width. I can still do the push-ups from here. I can come out a little bit more than shoulder width. I can still perform push-ups from here. I can turn my hands in like this. I've seen people turn their hands in like this. I've seen people turn their hands out like that, with the middle finger is pointing out like this. This is my preferred way. This is what I would suggest. Turn the hands out like this. Okay, so the middle finger is going like this, and the thumbs are closer facing each other. Okay, so I'm over the chest. If my hands are here, I'm going to struggle. If my hands are here, where they're in line with my face, I'm going to struggle. If they're here, they're in line with my chin, I'm going to struggle. But if I'm here in line with my chest, that's where I want to be. Turn the middle finger out. Turn these thumbs close to each other here. Okay? That's how I want to do the push-up. That's the alignment that my hands should be in when I'm doing it. So let's look at me on the ground here now. You see that? I'm going to go a little wider than shoulder width apart. So I'm here. Okay? Ready. These come out. You see the bend in the elbow? Down. Nothing touches. Nothing touches. Up. Push out. Look at that tricep activation. Down. Up. Tricep activation. Don't lock out the elbow. Have a little love in your heart, as I like to say. Right? You just keep it to about that. You do again that. You don't have to lock it right out. Some people will say, yeah, lock it right out. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Some people, they hate it because it might hurt their joint. Other people, they swear by it. I think partially, again, preference. I don't want to tell you to do it and hurt yourself. So I would advise you to just don't lock out the elbow. So anyway, full push-up again. Out. In. Just like that. See what's coming out? Elbow. And then arm up again. Okay? Anywhere along this line. Anywhere along this line here. Over the chest. Or out from the chest. But in line with the chest. Not up here by the face. So this is what it would look like if I was by the face. This is what it would look like if I was by the hands. So let me do it from a side angle. This is what it would look like if I was by the face. Up here. This is what it would look like if I was by my chin. Okay? See where that is? But this is what it looks like when I'm by my chest. Okay? Down. Up. Now, let's go back to those modifications before I forget. Easiest modification. You're here. 90-degree angle in the hip and the knee. I almost forgot. Here. Down. Up. Nothing touches. The elbows come out. You come down. You come in close to the ground here. Your head could touch. And then you come back up. As you get better, you transition the hands forward here. And the hips. Look at that. Now we're not in line. Now we're not in the 90-degree angle. We're in a different angle. So we went from this with the hands here to 1, 2. And then shifting that. The reason we have to shift is that because we have to keep the arms or the hands, however you want to put it, from based on my example earlier, close to the chest. So now I can go from here, I can do the same thing and out. Okay? Now, the harder this gets will determine where my knees are. So, the further I go here, the harder it gets. If I want it real hard, I do this. Do you see what I mean? So now, I walk my hands back to make sure that they're in line with my chest. Boom, push up. So we're not covering the millions of variations where, yes, some people say, man, yeah, you could do it like this, and you could come back like this right next to the body, and what? Don't worry about any of that. This is for somebody struggling with push-ups. You know, you need to get through it. This is the full version. This is the modification. Look where the arms are. Look where the knees are. Imagine the angle here. This is the hip. I draw a line. It comes straight down. When I move that down, this hip comes straight down in line with my knee. Okay? I move my hands because I need those to be in the right alignment. And then, of course, so this is the easiest. This is like medium. This is getting harder now. And this is the most challenging. All right. Questions? You know what to do. Thanks for watching.